Botfest is a robot exhibition. You can really think about it as a robot science fair.
I want to let you know that this week is National Robotics Week. We're kicking things off today. There are over 80 events going on around the United States this week where kids just like you are out there building robots, showing off their robots.
Kids of all ages, ranging from elementary school students all the way up through sometimes even graduate students, will bring their robots to show off what they've been working on over the last few months or even the last year. Teachers will have particular materials that they can work on with the students. Some of the students that you saw at Botfest were actually in a program run by Fred Martin where he actually worked with the teachers and they worked with their students, so they were using particular sets of materials. But the idea of Botfest is open to any type of robot materials that people are using. So there might be Lego Mindstorms kits, there might be Super Crickets, there might be whatever students want to put together or whatever teachers have available for those students. The kits actually cost about $2,500, but we have many sponsors for the event, including the national organization, Kids Institute of Practical Robotics, and locally we're sponsored by Analog Devices, the Waters Corporation, Kinetic, which is a robotics company, as well as the MITRE Corporation. Botball and Botfest are annual events. We run them every year here at UMass Lowell. We started Botball in 2001 and we started Botfest in 2002. Botball is a program that's run nationally by the KISS Institute for Practical Robotics. Here in the New England region, University of Massachusetts Lowell runs it. We've been running here since 2001, and every year we get a lot of the same teams back, but we always get new teams that we try to recruit in as well. So this year's challenge was looking at the theme of airports. So you had to move airplanes to the tarmac, you had to build new airport towers, you had to move Bot Guy onto the top of the towers to score some other points. First, actually getting Bot Guy down from a higher shelf as well. So there were a number of different challenges that the students had within the tournament itself. And each team usually picks one or two to really focus on. So this year, we only saw one team that really went for the luggage sorting. Now, the luggage, they were pom-poms, the green and pink pom-poms, but they were sorting those green and pink pom-poms into two different bins. That's actually a very difficult challenge because they had to use the camera and some vision processing. Each year, the challenge addresses a number of different aspects. So as I've mentioned before, we have luggage sorting. That's quite hard to do with the vision processing. There are other challenges for stacking the blocks to build new airport towers. That can be hard because you have to build a manipulator, to build a way to stack those blocks on top of one another. So some of the teams will want to go for the highest scoring, most difficult tasks right away. But sometimes you see teams who can actually do things that score fewer points but can do it consistently, end up doing much better than the teams that can score a lot of points but maybe only half the time. I think it's a lot of fun for the students, it's fun for the teachers, and I think where we have the two programs together with Botball and Botfest, you can actually appeal to students who like to compete as well as students who don't like to compete as much. The advantage of Botfest is it allows students to build whatever they'd like to build. Now, whether that fits into something that teachers are doing in their curriculum or it's allowing the students to really have a lot of creativity and just building what they want. We saw students build birthday cakes where if you blew out the candle, it was actually measuring your breath, the temperature of your breath, to know that you were blowing on that candle to extinguish that light. Other students are using distance sensors to know if somebody's near it, or maybe touch sensors. So there's a wide variety of sensors they can use, and they use those in I think, a very creative set of ways. I mean, I've seen projects at Botfest that I never would have thought about creating those projects. So students come early in that morning. They bring their robots in, and actually the pit area where the students go, it is for students only, so there are no adults allowed in the pit during the competition day. We start off the morning with seating rounds, which really gives the students the opportunity to show us the best that their robots can do without other robots getting in their way. After the seeding rounds, we have a double elimination tournament, and obviously their seeds into that tournament are determined by the morning's runs. And then the teams go head to head. It's double elimination, so you lose your first run, you still have a second chance in the tournament. There are a number of different aspects to the scoring for Botball. So what you saw at the tables, the judges are judging what the table looks like at the end of the run. So where is bot guy, where the blocks stacked, where the biofuels brought to where they're supposed to go, was the luggage sorted. And we look at what happens at the end of the run, and those points there, we use those in the seeding rounds to determine how they're moving into the double elimination tournament, and then in double elimination, who passes on to the next round, obviously. But there are lots of other aspects to Botball as well. So throughout the building period, students are required to create documentation about their engineering process and put that up on a website, and they have to do that 3 times through the process. And then actually when they come to the tournament, they also go through documentation judging, so they'll talk to an engineer from a local company about what they did designing and programming their robot. So the scores from documentation before they come, on-site, the seeding rounds, and then the double elimination all combine as the overall score. So sometimes you'll see different winners for the overall Botball tournament because they did well in all the pieces versus who won the double elimination tournament because they did very well in that portion, but they may not have completed the other portions. So I've been involved with Botball for over 10 years, and I started to volunteer for Botball because I think it's important to interest students in computer programming and engineering and keep them in the STEM fields. So I've been volunteering my time for over 10 years to the program, and I think it's a really good one. Donate money, please.